When I hear Tush Push,
The first thing that comes to mind,
Get the hell out the way.
is the first word.
Let's go! Come on!
That play is not fun, but pretty high success rate.
You know what's coming.
He's pushed, and he's in. Touchdown.
Tush Push, touchdown, guaranteed.
If you have a free hitter, you might as well run it every time.
If you could do it, you'll do it too.
100%. If you could do it, you'd do it too. NFL annual meetings are this week, and so of course we've got Jeremy Fowler here for the Fowler Files. The mysterious music makes me laugh every single time. The Tush Push has been a big talking point, as we know, not necessarily from like the Eagles or the Bills, but from other teams. What is the actual likelihood that this rule gets banned, gets changed? What are you hearing?
Yeah, there is at least some momentum. So here's the deal. In West Palm Beach, NFL owners are meeting today through Tuesday. They will vote on several issues around the league, including the Green Bay Packers' proposal that you cannot push a ball carrier immediately after the snap. I talked to one general manager in the league who believes this will be passed under the guise of player safety. And so Buffalo Bills head coach Sean McDermott, some others have mentioned that they think it's a play that could get you hurt more often than others in those scrums there and the tight action you see there. But teams are sort of split on whether that's really a thing or not right now. So that will be debated hotly over the next few days. And look, the NFL owners need a 24-8 majority vote to get this thing passed. So it's hardly a slam dunk. But there are enough people around the league that would like to see it changed, even though there could be some wiggle room for the Eagles to still get this play off, because the proposal says immediately after the snap. So what if you wait a second after the snap and push? Also, the Eagles line is so good that I think they could get the play off without the push. So we'll see. I think they're going to still do it in some variation.
I don't want to see this go away. And I'm surprised that McDermott is talking about this as well, because the Eagles and Bills have combined to run 163 tush pushes in the last 3 seasons, more than the entire NFL combined. Okay, let's fast forward to the draft, because we're in April. Time to talk about the draft, which is coming up on April 24th. Potential top pick Cam Ward just worked out for the Titans on Friday. What are you hearing about how that went?
Well, he has really separated himself as QB1 through this process. So the Tennessee Titans descended upon the Miami area at noon on Friday. They had their whole cavalry, GM, president, assistant general manager, head coach, offensive coordinator, all to work out Cam Ward. And I was told they really did it only because they can, and it's part of the process, but they've seen him throw a lot. They're already pretty sold on him. I keep hearing the same thing when I check on how workouts or meetings went with Cam Ward, that he's a, quote, great kid. It seems like they've really hit it off with Ward from a personality standpoint, comes from humble beginnings. He's confident yet not cocky. Like, he's found a good balance where they feel like he's a dude that can lead a locker room. So that seems to be the consensus right now. Some momentum around the league that he'll be the #1 pick. Not a slam dunk. Titans are still doing their due diligence over the next month, but things have gone well with every checked off box, from team meetings, interviews, private workouts. It's going well.
Yeah, humble beginnings. Incarnate Word, Washington State, Miami, and now maybe the #1 pick in the draft. Jeremy Fowler, thank you.
Thanks, Shay.
For the Giants this season, Mr. Unlimited or famous Jameis. I'm going to let you know, our producer wrote this and he's obsessed with Jameis Winston. Don't shut the door on them drafting a quarterback either. Mike Renner has them selecting Shedeur Sanders with the #3 overall pick. Imagine those 3 personalities together in one room. But it bodes the question of not only who will start, but who is going to be the official backup. Taking a look at a few fresh faces in new places, the backup has become increasingly important, and with more injuries going to the starter. Noah? He told me he hates me. Let's welcome in Ryan Wilson here. So we got a lot of potential backups, but good quarterbacks in this draft. You get teams that are maybe looking for the backup. And yes, this past season, especially the season before, I mean, there were times it felt like there were more backups starting than the starters were. So let's start with the Giants here. It's kind of a crowded quarterback room already, though. Ryan, the Giants, should they draft a quarterback, and if so, who?
Yeah, so you talk about Mike Renner's mock draft, and it certainly makes sense at 3 to consider a quarterback, and certainly Shedeur Sanders would be a very good option for the Giants. But if they wanted to take someone else, maybe a Travis Hunter, and then circle back in rounds 3 or 4, because this feels about the range where this young man might go. Kyle McCord could be an option, and Kyle McCord transferred from Ohio State to Syracuse, where he absolutely balled out in 2024, set the ACC passing record all time with his performance, and he got so much better that he went from guy guy who was likely not going to get drafted to probably an early day 3 pick. I like him in round 2. This is his pro day. I was there on the left. You can see me over there with the big Kyle McCord little doll that I had because I was so happy for the way he played here. So I think he's an option to go to a team like the Giants where he doesn't have to start right away because it could be Russ for 1 year, maybe Jameis for this year, and then maybe in 2026, should everyone keep their jobs because the Giants are winning, Kyle McCord could be an option down the road.
Okay, let's go to the Steelers here because this is a team where we are starting to see those pieces fall into place for these other teams, whether the Giants have a solution or not. Steelers, big old question marks. We don't know what's going to happen with Aaron Rodgers. If you're looking to the draft for a quarterback, are you looking for a potential starter or are you looking for a backup? And if so, what is that name?
Yeah, that's the, I don't know, $80 million question. So Aaron Rodgers is, we're all waiting to see what Aaron Rodgers decides to do. They have Mason Rudolph back in the fold. I don't know if that excites Steelers fans, but he started the last month of the season 2 seasons ago and actually did pretty well. And look, at 21, there's not going to be a quarterback there. You'll probably have to trade up if you want to get to Shador if he slips to maybe 8 or 9 or 10. I don't know if the Steelers want to do that because they do not have a second-round pick as a result of that DK Metcalf trade. They took Will Howard out, the Ohio State quarterback, the night before his pro day. They're apparently going to have a 30 visit, according to reports with Jackson Dart. But I would consider Will Howard very seriously. Arthur Smith, Mike Tomlin, Omar Khan were all at the Ohio State pro day because they're going to have 50 guys get drafted, but also because they were looking very closely at Will Howard, who is 6'4", about 240, has a big arm, is a really good athlete, and played great down the stretch, Amanda. And he's a guy that's probably going to have to take in the 3rd round. And like I mentioned, they don't have that second-round pick the Steelers do, but they do have pick number 83, and that feels about the spot where Will Howard could be available to them as a developmental guy where you roll with Mason or Aaron Rodgers or whomever in 2025 and then give the keys to the car to Will Howard in 2026.
A team with the top pick in this quarterback is a top pick in this draft is the Browns. And look, we've talked about just how much the Browns have dug themselves in a hole with the whole Deshaun Watson situation. One of my friends sent me a text saying that they were potentially looking at making a trade for Dak. Don't know anything about that. However, if the Browns are looking at the draft, whether it's at the top of the draft or maybe even a little bit further down, what would be some good value for them at that quarterback position to try and just bolster that room even a little bit?
Right. We know Cam Ward's probably going 1 to the Titans, and then do the Browns take Shador at 2? Does Shador want to go to Cleveland? That's a whole other conversation. Kenny Pickett, we saw in the graphic, they traded for a few weeks ago, so he's penciled in as the possible starter while Deshaun Watson recovers from his latest injury. If the Browns want to take someone like Abdul Carter, the edge rusher out of Penn State at number 2, they could circle back probably in round 2 because Tyler Shuck out of Louisville would be an option there. He's a big, strong kid with a big arm. He'll be 26 during his rookie season. He has played a ton of ball. He was at Oregon, he was at Texas Tech, and then most recently in Louisville where he had his best season. The issue with Tyler has been injuries, but he's by all accounts a good kid, and teams like Tyler a little better than I do as